Go ahead and show me this very exciting.
Well, here's a quick example. If you invest $10,000 and you get a 10% annual return, which, by the way, people go, what do you get a 10% return? If you look at the S&P 500, which essentially is the benchmark index for the stock market, it's the top 500 companies. If you look at that, the average return has been 10 to 12% since its inception. So this is not an outrageous claim that you could get a 10% average annual return. Not every year. Some years it may be down 22%. Some years it's up 20%. Who knows? But that $10,000 at a 10% return, and if you just leave that $10,000 alone for 40 years, here's what happens. At year 1, you're at $10,000. Year 10, you're almost at $26,000. By year 20, you're at $67,000. 30 years in, you're at $175,000. And then 40 years in, you're at $452,000. Is that not amazing?
That's fantastic.
And remember, you only put in 10. And so the total growth on that was $442,000 of money that you didn't put in. It was just your interest earning interest. So how does that happen? Well, let's talk through an example of this and the power of starting early. Because a lot of people, they're not there yet, Ken. Either they have debt, they don't have the emergency fund, they're in their 40s or 50s or 60s, they feel like it's too late, they feel like they don't have the knowledge
I like
base.
that. Let's take someone my age, George. I'm 48.
Oh, boy.
All right?
I wasn't going to go that old, Ken. I was going to go, well, the example here, you can change the numbers on the example, but let's say this guy, Ben, who starts at 21. Bright kid, his parents went through FPU, he did this stuff, and he invests $2,400 a year. You got that?
Just $2,400.
$2,400 a year.
It's not a lot.
That's $200 a month.
Yeah.
And he stops contributing at age 30. So from 21 to 30, $2,400 a year. The total amount he contributed was $21,600. Now his buddy Joey, a little older, he started investing at age 30, and he invests $2,400 a year as well. And he contributes until he is 67. So instead of 9 years, he contributes for 37 years, and the total amount he contributes, $88,800. Now in your mind, Ken, without doing math, you're going, well, Joey's got to have more money.
Joey's ahead. Yeah.
He invested for a lot longer period of time. You would be what's known as wrong. Because at age 67, Ben's investment, remember his $21,000 he put in, has grown to $2.1 million. Joey's investment has grown to $1.2 million. So that 9-year difference, that 9-year gap from when Ben started to when Joey started, was a difference of close to $1 million. Is that not wild?
It's crazy. Now, some people hear that and they go, well, wait a second. Is it too late for me?
No.
Because what about the guy who started at 30?
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is today. And so regardless of where you're at, you got to start. And if you're 50, well, still, let's say it's 70 years old, you still have 20 years of compound growth to take advantage of. And if you're young and you follow this plan, you go, hey, what if I could graduate debt-free? What if I could get out of all my debt, cut up the cards, have an emergency fund, begin investing 15%? With a normal income, you're going to be a multimillionaire if you just start when you're out of college. And so regardless of your age, the key here is to get started as soon as you can. And the right time to start investing, Ken, is once you're out of consumer debt with a fully funded emergency fund. Now, a lot of people get mad at us for this because they go, oh my gosh, you're going to make me throw away the company match? Part of the reason you don't have the margin to invest 15% is because you're carrying all this debt, you're broke living paycheck to paycheck, and you're trying to get this 3% match. What if for a season you paused, you went down to 0 on the match, 0 on your investing, so that you had more margin to throw at the debt? Now we're at a debt faster, and we're back to 15% once we come back to investing. So it's a powerful, powerful principle to take advantage of compound interest, compound growth, capital appreciation, whatever nerdy word you want to throw on it. And the key is you don't have to be a genius investor. I mean, our millionaire study found that most of them were mediocre investors that just invested consistently over a long period of time in a 401k, in a Roth IRA, in growth stock mutual funds. And they didn't even pick the best ones. They just went, all right, this is not a super volatile investment. It's not a single stock. It's not crypto. I'm just going to invest in my retirement plan. And they became millionaires by doing that. And the average age was 49. So you're right on track, Ken.
Look at that. They started at 49?
No, they became millionaires. Average age for the millionaires in our study of over 10,000 of them.
I see.
So some were younger, some were older.
Gotcha.
But it just goes to show you, if you just follow a proven plan, you don't have to make $1 bajillion or be a doctor or a lawyer. You can build wealth on your terms without having to strike it rich or get an inheritance or do all of these crazy things.